Welcome back to the Superstream, live at CES at the Havas Cafe, and you are joining us for an incredible panel connecting culture to commerce with some brilliant talent and thought leadership from Amazon. Very lucky to have them joining us today. So introducing our guests on the panel, Molly Hopp from Havas, our EVP of Commerce here at Havas Media Network. We're also introducing Tanner Elton, Vice President of US Advertising Sales for Amazon. And last but by no means least, it is Wayne Purbo, VP of Amazon Shoppable Video. Thank you all for joining us.
Thank you.
What are you thinking about creators in terms of versus creators and kind of traditional advertising? Although Molly's quite rightly already corrected me for using that kind of semantics.
Yeah, I think Wayne touched on this a little bit, that the way that we engage with customers is richer now than it's ever been. And it's innately because we are very curious. We're a very curious species. Mm-hmm. And so when we're able to provide more ways to engage and interact, it changes the way you think about the content that you have. When you do that with relevancy and authentically, that's when you can enhance that experience in a way that really changes how you think about the content creation. So now, it's not just, can we create a show that's going to entertain you? That's table stakes, right? Now that we've created a show that's going to entertain you, what are the ways that we can allow you to have a richer experience by going deeper into that show? How do we make sure that the advertising that's part of that show has a level of relevancy, so if it sparks curiosity in you, you can learn more and go deeper into that experience? And what we found as we've done that is we respond well to it. Consumers like that experience, and it actually enhances in many ways their viewing experience the more you go into that. So at Amazon, we have things like X-Ray, which allow you to go deeper into content to see, well, who is that? What are they wearing? Create shoppable experiences in that. And the response has been phenomenal. So when you think about how we're creating content, what does content creation mean? It means it's not just this one thing anymore. It's all these different areas where you can engage in meaningful ways to enhance the curiosity that people naturally have.
Yeah, it really feels like a moment here where we're evolving that idea of what a media experience is. Mm-hmm. And Wayne, I'm going to come to you now specifically around shoppable video. Can you center us from a product perspective on that in this broader cultural conversation?
And first and foremost, I've been asked a lot of times, we've been on a mission at Amazon to introduce more and more video in the shopping experience. And folks have asked me why we're doing that, because a lot of people just use .com as a utility. They do a quick search, they find the product, and they purchase it. And for a long time, the key metrics for Amazon were all about how quickly you could find that product, make a purchase, and be on your way. What we found that video does is that we see, one, our best customers watch a video before they make a purchase. Our best customers spend more after they've watched a video. Folks who, one of the creator stats that I like to refer to is when we survey a customer, 71% of them say they feel better about their purchases because they've heard the recommendation from a creator. 96% of customers that watch Amazon Live session will then take action regarding that brand or that product that they've seen in the stream immediately after they've seen that stream. So we know that video is doing its job. We see lower returns for people that watch video. We know that video is doing its job in helping customers make great purchase decisions. And we want to look for new opportunities across .com to introduce video to help customers do that.
So let's talk about live shopping in a bit more depth. Where's live shopping going? We're seeing some differences across countries. We're seeing some differences in experiences. What's your view for live shopping ahead, in as much as you can share?
For me, there's a couple of different solves that live shopping enables. One, we make purchases for different reasons. Some of the time, we are a fan of someone, a creator, could be an actor, some sort of an influencer, we're a fan, and we just want to buy everything that they touch. Traditionally you've seen, things like Martha Stewart being able to sell a bunch of stuff just based on the Martha Stewart brand. But then you see other people, like we have Paige DeSorbo in the beauty category, or Lala Kent, who just had a baby, who's selling a ton of baby stuff for us right now. Folks are just drawn to these personalities and the authenticity of these personalities, and they want to work with those recommendations. But what Live allows them to do is to engage with those personalities. So you get the examples of folks, and I can't remember which influencer it was, but she was asked by someone through the chat to change the shoes that she was wearing with a pair of pants, because they wanted to see how the brown shoes would look versus the black shoes that she was wearing. This is the type of engagement that customers want. They want to lean in.
I think that's fascinating insight. We are going to see shortly an incredible live shopping experience developed with a brilliant brand in terms of showing that experience. And there's a couple of things that I want to pick up on that in terms of that idea of compression of the funnel into that moment, and also the need for this isn't the same context as it is in China or perhaps elsewhere. Molly, would you want to sort of speak to that for a moment in terms of your thinking around these kind of shoppable or commerce moments being something that is full funnel, isn't a discrete experience?
Yeah, I think two things, and I think it answers what you're asking. Number one is what's been a really interesting time, 2024, 2025, is the impact that the pandemic had, and I think our misunderstanding of how people would or would not return to the real world.
Yeah.
People did. They've gone back to brick and mortar. They want that shopping experience. But what I really like about shoppable experiences, shoppable media, is that it kind of capitalizes on people's need to go back to more of an experience versus a utilitarian, but not necessarily still have to leave the comfort that they found when they didn't have to leave their couch. So I think just, again, looking at it in terms of what customers want, what humans want, I think that's really interesting. Something that's maybe a divergence from what you're asking, but I do think is also interesting when we're thinking about how we understand both an omni-channel experience and again, who we're talking to, is that I think there's often a misperception that retail media and retail and shopper data are one and the same, but they're not. And so everything that we're learning across, Amazon Live, but the entire ecosystem is technically, or I guess we define it as retail and shopper data. But what we're doing really well at Havas is taking those insights and really understanding how that allows us to understand who, again, people are, who audiences are, and not just using it to inform on what is a traditional retail media activation, which I think is a really exciting time for us.
Love that. Thank you so much for that closing remarks. An amazing live media experience, and can't wait to see what comes next.